right, everyone, keep watching the bottom of your screen because this market, as you and I and everyone else now knows, can do absolutely anything at any given moment. You can see we are up 332, so pretty nice rally, but it's been just all over the place today. It was all over the place this week, so we're going to continue watching it for you. We're going to be back with more on the markets momentarily, but I want to talk about Donald Trump because Republicans are ganging up on him right now. In South Carolina, the party's considering banning Donald Trump on the primary ballot unless he promises he won't run as a third-party candidate. The state's primary filing form, put together in June, states, quote, "I hereby affirm I generally believe in and intend to support the nominees and platform of the Republican Party in the November 8th, 2016 general election." In other words, implying that if you don't, then you can't be on the ballot. You gotta stay Republican. Virginia and North Carolina may also try to pressure Trump into playing by the rules, requiring a similar pledge to appear on their ballots. So why is the GOP trying to bully the Donald? I'm joined right now by Matt Moore, the chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party. And Matt, is this language specifically directed to deal with Mr. Trump?
We're not trying to bully any candidate, including Mr. Trump. This language was sent out in June to all of the campaigns. So I think the idea that anyone's bullying kind of belongs up there with the conspiracies of Area 51 and all those things. The grassy knoll.
Why do you have to put that in there? Why do you have to put that in there, Matt?
Well, thousands and thousands of candidates in South Carolina over the past 3 decades have signed a similar pledge. We believe that candidates should take one bite at the apple. They should have one shot to win, and if you want to support the Republican team,
but why?
You got to wear the Republican shirt.
So shouldn't the American voters decide that? I mean, why is it up to you in the Republican Party to decide whether or not someone can throw their hat in the ring later on as an independent?
Well, it's about protecting the integrity of the electoral process here in South Carolina. The past 3 decades, that thousands of candidates have signed a similar pledge. The 4 candidates here for president have already signed the same pledge.
It's about protecting the integrity of the election process. But let's face it, if someone's not on the ballot in South Carolina, they're not going to get the nomination. So it seems to me that you're putting them in a corner.
I don't think so. We've had 4 candidates who've signed this. Look, we have great relations with the Trump campaign. I talked to their staff quite a lot. They've given no indication they will not be signing this form. In fact, I fully expect Mr. Trump to sign the form.
Matt Moore, if they sign the form, I mean, is he absolutely bound by that? I mean, he could still go out and decide to run as a third-party candidate.
We certainly hope that doesn't happen. We hope that Mr. Trump signs the form, just like we hope the 16 other candidates signed the form here in South Carolina. As I said, we've had 4 file already, 3 more the next week. So it hadn't been an issue.
It seems to me you're doing everything you can to protect the two-party system.
I don't think that's true at all. Look, my job is to help the Republican Party win elections. That's why I'm chairman of the Republican Party here in South Carolina. You mentioned the global turmoil. We want to stop this out-of-control national debt, want to get the global foreign policy back on track. It's about winning next November. And my job, as I said, as a chairman, is to ensure
I got to tell you, I'm from New Hampshire, where our motto is live free or die. And we're first in the nation. But we don't make the candidates sign anything like this because you know what? At the end of the day, if the American public, if voters want a particular candidate, that candidate should have a shot, regardless of whether South Carolina is going to allow them on the ballot or not.
I don't disagree. I think you get one shot at the apple, though. You get one bite. You either file as a Republican Party candidate, or you go on to do a third-party candidate, be a third-party candidate in the fall.
And I think because you think that you're trying to force all these candidates into a mold, and as we've learned, do we have that clip from the debate? You all saw it, right? We learned this is a guy, when he was asked whether or not he would take this pledge, he made a spot decision. He's not so willing to fit into a mold. Remember this?
Yeah. Is there anyone on stage, and can I see hands, who is unwilling tonight to pledge your support to the eventual nominee of the Republican Party and pledge to not run an independent campaign against that person? Again, we're looking for you to raise your hand now. Raise your hand now if you won't make that pledge tonight. Mr. Trump.
And the hand went up. But you know what? You kind of got to say, at the end of the day, the guy was his own man at that moment. I don't know what he's going to do in South Carolina. Your thoughts?
Well, someone asked me recently what I thought of him raising his hand. I said, how could he not? He's made great headway in the polls by being himself. He stepped into something I think is very strong and potent in American politics. People are upset. People are upset about an out-of-control national debt, a world that seems out of control. And as I said, my job as a Republican Party chairman here in South Carolina is to help us elect someone in 2016 to fix those problems.
We're wishing you luck. Matt, thanks so much. Coming up after the break, was this all one big, giant publicity stunt?
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. You haven't been called. Go back to Univision.